Yeah, what Russia did was wrong, without a doubt.
Yeah. So do you not believe that we should continue monetary support to Ukraine?
No, I mean, a lot of countries do things wrong. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean we should be involved, right? I mean, Syria right now is killing a bunch of Christians. It's getting almost no press attention. There's a civil war right now in Africa that's getting almost no press attention. Not every conflict warrants American involvement. And right now, President Trump is trying to broker a peace settlement between Russia and Ukraine, which is the right move. And our perspective as conservatives is as follows. The amount of money we spent on Ukraine is about $300 billion so far. And during Biden, we didn't spend any money on our own southern border while we were being invaded on a daily basis. President Trump is instead saying American borders matter a lot more than the borders of Russia and Ukraine.
What's up, amazing people of YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. I'm your host, Elario, and today I'm back with another video and check out with you guys. This is called Charlie Kirk and Students Supporting the Endless Ukraine War Machine. Why would anyone be in support of war? It's a devastating event. But anyway, guys, you know the drill. We talk less and we react more. Let's check this one out.
All right. So in a video before, you've stated, why should we hate Russia? Do you believe that the invasion of the sovereign state of Ukraine is not enough to at least view them with anger and want to avoid a policy of appeasement through support of Ukraine?
First of all, nice to see you.
Yeah.
Great to be here.
It's kind of
yeah, what Russia did was wrong, without a doubt.
Yeah. So do you not believe that we should continue monetary support to Ukraine?
No, I mean, a lot of countries do things wrong. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean we should be involved, right? I mean, Syria right now is killing a bunch of Christians. It's getting almost no press attention. There's a civil war right now in Africa that's getting almost no press attention. Not every conflict warrants American involvement. And right now, President Trump is trying to broker a peace settlement between Russia and Ukraine, which is the right move. And our perspective as conservatives is as follows. The amount of money we spent on Ukraine is about $300 billion so far. And during Biden, we didn't spend any money on our own southern border while we were being invaded on a daily basis. President Trump is instead saying American borders matter a lot more than the borders of Russia and Ukraine.
So I definitely agree that the President of the United States should focus on America first. But I just feel that, and I agree that we should, honestly, I agree that Europe needs to up their spending for the defense of Ukraine because it's right on their border. But I think that no matter where it is in the world, supporting somebody who I would believe is doing the morally right thing is the right thing to do.
Okay, so that's a fair position. I guess the question is, at what point would you consider to be a success? Because right now Russia has more territory than it otherwise would have if we would have had a ceasefire a couple weeks in. When is it enough money to spend? We're at $300 billion. I mean, we're not willing to send U.S. troops, right? I mean, that would probably be a fair line.
Yeah, 100%.
So what would success look like?
That is a really hard question. I guess just the thing that I think of first is there's like that fear of, I think that a peace treaty would go in the favor of Russia. And while I don't think, like, if we continue the support, the war will continue, and that's more lives being lost. I just think that it's a hard middle ground to find. And I feel like Trump, especially with the meeting with Zelensky, just to the world shows more of a support to Russia than previous administrations.
So let me tell you how we view it. We thought Zelensky was completely out of line. By the way, do you like my Zelensky outfit, everybody? What do you think? I meant no disrespect to the University of Tennessee, but I thought I'd do my best Zelensky outfit. I'm a little taller, though, don't you think? I'm a little taller than Zelensky. I'm giving you a hard time. First and foremost, I won't nitpick too much, but I will say, if you do go into the Oval Office, you should wear a suit and tie. That's my own personal perspective. I understand his country's at war. That's just a little bit of a nitpicking, I'll be honest. I think that if you go into the sacred, and I've had the honor to go in the Oval Office a couple times, I think you should dress up in a suit and tie. I think it's just a basic common courtesy. But that's not the bigger issue. The bigger issue is that Zelensky in that meeting, we believe, and I encourage you to watch all 40 minutes. You have, good. It started pretty tepid and then it heated up. And outside of Vice President Vance's back and forth on did you say thank you, there was this kind of insistence on Zelensky saying, no, we really don't want peace. We really don't, like, the idea of peace was almost a non-negotiable.
I mean, I think he views it, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine, please.
I feel like he views it as a surrender, and I think that's a fair position for him to take.
Yeah, well, so he has a choice. And America then has a choice. So Zelensky can keep on fighting. Here's some facts. The average age of a Ukrainian military member is 43 years old. They have basically destroyed the young men of their country. There's hundreds of thousands of young men that have died, millions that have fled their nation. The average age is 43. So they're doing conscripts of people in their late 40s and early 50s to go to the front lines. It's a meat grinder. So he can keep that going, but for what? To win back some land that you may or may not win. Then it's America's perspective. When we come at the perspective that, number one, blessed are the peacemakers. Number two, what is good for our own country? And the Russian-Ukrainian war has been bad for us at every turn. We're losing the US dollar as the world reserve currency status. It is getting us further and further away from having a back channel to Russia. It's actually put Russia and China closer together. And finally, the amount of money spent. You guys in this audience, you are going to inherit a nation that is $35 trillion in debt, where we are sending money overseas and not securing over our own citizens. Peace would then hopefully limit that from some permanency. And I'll just say one final thing, and we can, disagree on this. It's easy to say it's a surrender, but it would be a victory for the United States to say that we're no longer sleepwalking closer and closer to a thermonuclear war with Russia. Because Russia is a nuclear armed power, and under Joe Biden, not under Trump, we had American-made missiles that were being launched into the interior of Russia. Imagine right now, everybody, if Russia was launching missiles into the interior of the United States. You opened up your question with a very fair, really good faith question. You said, why should we view Russia as an enemy? Let me give you more context to that. And I think this is where DC gets things totally wrong. While I don't like Russia, I don't like Putin, it's not a free society, I have no plans to ever move there or compliment them, I do think it's kind of weird the amount of money and attention that Russia gets when almost nobody in this audience has a friend that you've lost to the Russian government, but you do have a friend or a family member that has died because of the cartels and the Chinese Communist Party, with a fentanyl coming into our communities. And so a nation has to choose which enemies are you going to focus on, because we have a lot of them. Is it North Korea? Is it Iran? Is it Russia? Is it China? I think the Mexican drug cartels have done a lot more damage to the people of Tennessee alongside the Chinese Communist Party than the Russian Federation ever will. So therefore, end the war and focus on our true enemies, the Mexican drug cartels and the Chinese Party. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, I understand Charlie's point of view there. It's understandable that America, as a country that's this great, is going to have a lot of enemies. Now, Charlie is just speaking about priorities, right? If you're going to focus on an enemy, focus on the one that affects you directly, right? Focus on the one that has the most potential to take you out. And honestly, war is something that benefits nobody, like nobody at all. And the student said that the president of Ukraine acquiescing to a peace treaty would be a look of surrender on his part. But then, if both the Russians and the Ukrainians can initiate a successful peace treaty, then to benefit America more, because now Charlie says that they are shipping or pumping a lot of money into the war, picking sides and all that. Honestly, why would anybody want war in the first place? As Charlie said, it's all over some land that you may or may not win in the long run. So why waste any more time and any more lives? Just end it. Come to a compromise and have peace. And there was an issue of dressing. Maybe the representative from Ukraine, I didn't watch the interview, but from the tone there, it seems like he came dressed very casually to the Oval Office. Now, Oval Office aside, right? Everyone knows that there are certain corporate buildings, there are certain places that you do not dress casually to. You dress corporate with a suit and a tie, as Charlie said. Now, it just so happens that the corporate office in question is the Oval Office. Why would you go there in a casual outfit? But then again, it's really not anyone's problem. And again, as Charlie said, it's not everything that happens that America must get involved in. I mean, they have their own problems to handle. The world should stop pressuring them to look like they must be the saviors of everyone. They actually have to save themselves now because they are knee deep in debt. They have a lot of cartels running around, drugs coming in, a lot of debt, a lot of issues that we see here. So why should everyone try to make this particular country butt in on everything? It's really unnecessary. Everyone should learn to handle their own problems, and they should allow America or Americans to face theirs. And as he said, the president would actually put the interest of the American citizens first. He cares more about the border in America than the border that's causing the war in Ukraine and Russia. And so as he said, even if the delegate from Ukraine sees it as a weak act of surrender, or even if the student agrees that it may be a weak act of surrender, you can keep fighting, right? But in the end, you are losing more than whatever you are going to gain. Because, as I've said before, war benefits no one. Nada. Nobody. It doesn't benefit anybody at all. Because if you win the land back, it will continuously be in dispute because fights will keep on erupting because of that particular land. So just come to a compromise and sign a treaty and let everyone just have peace, honestly. But guys, please, tell us what you think about this video in the comment section. And please do leave a thumbs up for us at the end of this video. If you just joined the channel for the first time, please click that bell button to be notified when we drop a new video. And of course, subscribe to follow us for more updates. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe.